For currently, it is all joy and dancing in the camp of Madame Charlotte Osei. So if you watch the screens closely, Nipa Ojin Finfini, the Osei a blue sea blue jogger, backbone the Kong Osei white t-shirts, the former EC boss Madame Charlotte Osei. Now you remember say many years ago, Sadia ba ye can one semi a year your friend is saying the whole removal of the CJ, you know, I say a petition president, you know, the same modus the CJ and another national topic, you know, that was the same modus at MPP so you see or Mudi Madame Charlotte Osei. In fact, Omupo they didn't even give her a due course. They cited say breaches B and a procurement breaches. Just say chief just say if anything former EC boss ne Sasha Sia printing ballots be near the idea it went against the EC rules and policies, so they even removed her from seat. Today the same thing is being done for the Chief Justice who is now the former Chief Justice Madam Getru Tokonu. Now in aid of this, no, there are concerns among workers. Okay, MPP aye omeyi Charlotte Osei, MPP NDC swaba omeyi Chief Justice Tokodu. Does it mean say MPP for resume power 2038 and 2032 and 2028 they will also remove whoever they've put on your friend is saying as a CJ, as a Chief Justice? The question is because Chief Justice, according to information here, but this is the first time in history a president a Chief Justice. Now, regardless, we want you to look at this from a different perspective. NDC Nibi in Simaba Betuja said this whole thing it is not about Charlotte Osei payback, they be. But then there are also scores of other people who believe that all of these things are air question. It is just one of the things that MPP 4 year to replace the former Chief Justice Madam Getru Tokonu with Madame Charlotte Osei, because Charlotte Osei, she's also a lawyer. In fact, I think what takes a particular audio, I believe see TV, you get a deep understanding of what we are talking about.
And that I've heard the arguments, this will set a bad precedent for the judiciary going forward. How would you react to Sir commentary?
Unfortunately, those who say that are losing sight of something. You see, the fundamental principle, idea a book to remember be a memo, any a memoir, and number of my and they say, Yenina, a pet or minimum. It will be obviously a war somewhere. A bite, a be an enemy patricia, a be a warfare, men on your face. A be a woo is coming in this. But a banner, men your pay. Into a bar, Yadibabotich, and one year the boba. That is the position of the law. So, above Cassidy, I'm kind of sacred cow philosophy. Cheter, Obi, we in the Pakesia, mind to say, Akobane say, Emranisha say, Yemfa won't fast up, Quendiswa. Yes, yes, I will be Pakesia, we in see, yet. That is what will set a bad precedent. As that a highly regarded personality, and as a significant personality in Ghanaian society, a very powerful head of an arm of government. It does not set a bad precedent. If it is the case to say in Naswuni due process was not followed, the managers yet never said yeah. President Mama Saka petition and of 50 perpetual crack I said we a year Chief Justice everywhere. Then that sets a terrible precedent. In fact, it would not even be countenance in the face of the law.
Yes.
See. Unless we are under a dictatorial regime. But when he has gone through due process every step of the way, up until now, there's not one single instance that will be able to me actually Tom and Penny Bumra Bakun and so the American say, Omo said this says a bad precedent now. Have really not established what bad precedent it is. The fact of the weight of the office is immaterial. It's argument. In fact, see a doom temperature of mine. Now the Chief Justice, Ebu Mraso, near the family council. Nasa Impediasa, Obia or Tom Kudo, Council, the family council. Then we have arrived at a country that is underpinned by the rule of law. That cannot be a bad precedent.
For clarity's sake, and for maybe the lay persons listening to us, when him say, for someone to become a Chief Justice, the person should first be a Justice of the Supreme.
Call me Prophet Jebunti. Let people come to me, I'll prophesy for them, and I'll make some money, you know? That'll be a good thing. I should be a prophet or something, you know?
You sound fulfilled.
I did. I called it. I told you, listen, the Chief Justice was an impediment. She was a means to an end. The end is the EC chair and her deputies. And I'm going to make another bold, prophetic, angelic prediction today. They are next. Very soon you will see the petitions for the removal of the EC chair and her deputies will roll in. And I'm telling you, by the end of the year, the CJ has gone, the EC has gone, the whole slate is going to be swept clean, and then you are going to have NDC people planted there to continue the NDC process of going forward. So yes, I'm very, very certain about this, and it's going to happen. Just watch this space.
Well, but then, as was clearly indicated, this is a constitutional process that was at play, specifically detailed in Article 146, as we've seen play out. And the president's decision was based on the recommendations of a committee, and he did not take that singular decision. Dr. Zato.
I have no problem with the constitutionality or otherwise of it. But you also then realize that every aspect of it, every single phase of it was what? Laden with politics. Now, this is what history will remember. History will not remember constitutionality, no. History will remember that under this constitution, in this Fourth Republic, it was His Excellency John Dramani Mahama who was the first to fire a sitting Chief Justice, a member of the co-equal arms of government. History will remember that. History will not forget. Tomorrow, I'm sure that if people start teaching law, constitutional law and other laws, they will always bring this up. And whenever they bring this example, they will say, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama removed the Chief Justice Tokunu. And so far, it is probably the biggest achievement of this government is the removal of the Chief Justice. And that is what history is going to remember. And that is what politics is going to remember. And that is what going forward, everybody is going to remember. So you can call it whatever you want, or you can lead in it whatever you want. You can hide under every single judicial or legal interpretation, whatever. But the history will remember the Chief Justice was removed by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and it's the first time it ever happened.
You've indicated that you have no problem with the constitutional provision as it played out in this instance. And it is the same...
There's nothing I can do about them.
Yes,
I cannot change the constitution.
I was coming to a point. And it is the same constitutional provision that you don't have any problem with that also empowered the president to take this decision based on the recommendations of a committee established under this same provisional constitution, the constitution of the republic that you are not having a problem with. So how then do you say that it's a decision that the president has taken to sack the Chief Justice without also taking into consideration the provisions of the Constitution that detail the process that has resulted in this decision today?
No matter how you call it, you say it was His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama who sacked the Chief Justice. That's a fact. It doesn't matter whether it's a constitution or not. He sacked. He wrote the letter saying, you are sacked, you are fired. One. Two, I've also explained on previous occasions, maybe I should rehearse it now, the whole process was laden or interwoven with politics. And it is the politics that we've seen coming up. We can rehearse some of them. One, the reason why we do not see the Council of State's charge sheet, we don't see their recommendations, is a political decision. Akufo-Addo showed us the Council of State reasoning.